everyone, my name is Maddie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm here with a very special guest, Titouan Bernicot, the founder of Coral Gardeners, and I met him in January 2020 and I'm very excited to talk with him again. Titouan, how are you?
Hey Maddy, what's up? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm currently on the beautiful island of Moorea, sister island of Tahiti, and I'm doing well, yeah.
Great. So whenever I was in Moorea, you told me that the ocean was your everything. So when were you passionate about the ocean?
Growing up on a little island like Moorea, the ocean, the coral reef, and the sea, they are everywhere. And I was born on a little pearl farm in the remote side of French Polynesia on a tiny atoll. And I start swimming, before I could walk. And the ocean, it became my playground, surfing, free diving, spearfishing, and I can't imagine living without it. Yeah.
So you mentioned free diving. What is free diving?
So free diving is basically when you take like a last piece of air from the surface and then you dive in and you hold your breath during a certain amount of time and you can explore like dolphins or like whales, just breathing at the surface and diving again, and you can explore the marine life, the ocean, the coral reef with a spatial way because you don't have the bubbles like the scuba tanks, and I love doing it. Yeah.
What do you think about whenever you're free diving?
So usually I go with my friend, we arrive with the boat, and we put like a line so we can dive close to the line. And when I arrive at the bottom, so yesterday night I went after work free diving with my team, and it was 20 meters deep, and so interesting depth. And when you arrive, I usually close my eyes, and the last couple meters I open them, and it's a completely different environment and atmosphere. The colors, they are darker, you have different types of fish that you don't usually see at the surface, but I'm just thinking they are a little bit like us. Some fish, they live in couple, so they do their thing, they are all around the reef, and you have some little shrimps. It's like a city underwater where every species has a role to play and something to do, and they are in their world. And it's so crazy to think that under the surface, it's completely another world, and that the organism that live in this world, they contribute to the one where we live on land. And if we lose that balance of this underwater world, can really be super bad for the balance of all the entire planet. And that's why also we call it blue planet, right?
Do you have a special or favorite dive?
For sure, yeah. I've been diving since I was a little kid, and scuba diving, but also free diving. And I think one of my favorite dive was the first time I met a tiger shark. So it was a really rainy, stormy day on the island, and I had my buddy Dennis, a really good free diver, who asked me if I wanted to join him, and we took the boat, went to a great place, and that's the first day I received my underwater housing for my camera, and I will always remember that day because what happened was crazy. I just get in the water, and the biggest shark I ever seen, a tiger shark, just came straight to me, and I was like, and there was a lot of current. I was free diving. I was like, okay, what do I need to do? I just told myself, relax, and the tiger shark like came maybe 2 meters away from me, and he circled again and came back straight to me this time. And I was with my housing, he touched the housing. I was like, what is going on? To be able to share little moments and interacting, because the shark, his eyes, he actually see you, he watch you the same way you watch him, and there is this connection that happening. And yeah, that was for sure one of my favorite dive. Yeah.
Why did you create Coral Gardeners?
So I created Coral Gardeners because when I was 16 years old, we either surf or free dive or spearfish on the island. That's basically our lifestyle. But when I was 16, I took my little brother and couple island friends to the surf spot with our little boat, and we arrived at the surf break. And that was the first time that we realized and we noticed something really bizarre. The corals under our feet, they had lost their colors, they had turned white. And we learned after that this was happening due to global warming, and this is what we call coral bleaching. And this means the corals, they were dying. And the second thing I realized this day that is that the coral reef, they give my family, my friends, and myself everything we need. So that's why I decided to dedicate my life to save them, and I launched Coral Gardeners here.
Your passion for the ocean really inspired me. What are you hoping Coral Gardeners will empower people to do for coral?
When I was 16 years old and I, I found this, I found my way and my mission in life, like because we already have lost almost half of the coral reef for a while and they could be all condemned or gone by 2050. When I realized this, I was like, wow, there's something needs to be done. And at that time, I didn't want really to continue school or to do big studies. So I went to talk to scientists and all of them, they told me, hey, you need to do a marine biology degree, a PhD, and in 7 years from now, you come back, you talk with us, and we see where we can start and do stuff together. And I was like, guys, I just want to start doing things for the reef now. But I just kept going, and by meeting people and just dreaming and working hard, I accomplished some of my dreams already, and I'm just on the way to accomplish more. And my goal with Core Gardeners is to really inspire more people my age when I was 16 and give them that fire and that passion for them to just, it's not about the degrees you have, the school diplomas, the place where you grew up. If you love something and you put that hard work, you can accomplish your dreams. Yeah.
What are your other goals for this year and also in the future?
For the moment, with Coral Gardeners, we have three different missions. The first one is planting corals, so restoring the reef, and we planted over 15,000 corals on Moorea Island. The second one is to raise awareness. I want to tell the story of the reef to inspire and raise more awareness. And we do this with the local kids, the local community, but also on social media, on the internet, reaching out to millions of people. And the third area of focus with Coral Gardeners is the innovation. So we work with engineers, scientists to develop artificial intelligence, connected nurseries to monitor our efforts and scale up what we are doing. So our goal for 2025 will be to plant 1 million coral all around the world, opening 30 international branches, could be Indonesia, Philippines, like Egypt, I don't know, and also to reach 1 billion people sharing awareness stories and doing interviews like the one we are doing to reach people at the earth and inspire them to take action and also develop those innovation to scale up our mission.
Cool. So your technique to restore the reefs have changed since I last planted coral with you.
Sure.
What are new techniques to restore the reefs, and what is the process?
Yeah, no, sure, Maddy. When we started planting corals, when I was 16, we were using like little stem, little bamboo stick with the corals and the glue that we invented. And but the success rate wasn't really crazy with this method. So then we were lucky to welcome some experts and scientists from all around the world who came here to show what they are doing, their knowledge about the coral reef and reef restoration. And we learned some new methods. So now we just focus on what we call supercorals. It's some types of corals that have shown to resist to the warming temperatures of the water. They are like stronger. So we're going to fragment like 10% of the big colony of those supercorals in the lagoon. We're going to put those fragments into our nursery, and they're going to stay during a period of 12 to 18 months on the nursery before being planted back onto damaged reef. Yeah.
So how long do supercorals live?
So I think the corals, they can live for a while. Yeah, they are big corals in the lagoon. They are a couple hundred years sometimes, but they are growing really slow. Like the massive coral, they are the slowest growing rate, only like maybe 2 to 3 centimeters a year. That's why it's really important to swim with care and to be careful about what we are doing on those corals, because they are such complex, important, but yet fragile organisms and ecosystems. Yeah.
So you are very committed to raising awareness in the world and in Moorea. So what programs do you have in this area?
So in Moorea, we've been working over the last couple of years with almost all the high schools or middle school. And we go there, we sit during an hour, maybe more with the kids. We show them that we are just like them. We are island kids, surfer, fishermen. And then we show them what is the coral, etc. We try to tell the story of the reef. And after that, sometimes they come with us and they make some ropes. They become like little coral gardeners. And we are doing it with all the local communities, but also online.
That's amazing. What are ways you think people can help corals if they don't live near an ocean?
Ah, that's a great one. I think like people from the US, from Europe, or anywhere in the world, even though they are not close to the reef, they are connected. Because I like to say no reef, no ocean, no air. More than half of the oxygen we breathe comes from the ocean with healthy coral reef. And we are all contributing to killing the coral reef due to the carbon footprint and the global warming. So I think the first thing that people should do wherever they are, it's learning about the problem first and consider the little changes they can do in their everyday life to reduce their carbon footprint. Like for example, almost 2 years ago now, I stopped eating red meat. I will never imagine I will be able to do that, but it wasn't that hard. Like people from all around the world, they can go on our website and adopt super corals, and they're going to receive a coral card certificate and some news about the growth and etc. And we had 20,000 adoption so far, and that's why we can develop coral gardeners yet.
Where can people learn more about coral gardeners?
I would say the most funny way to learn more about what we are doing and to live the journey with us is social media like Instagram, because we're going to share some stories, videos, pictures about our daily work, and they can really follow the adventure. And by adopting corals, they also receive a lot of news about their coral, how do it's growing, and etc. And I think that's one of the best way to learn about our actions. Yeah.
What would you say to people that are stressed out about the environment and global warming and how corals are dying, who feel like they can't do anything about it?
Being in this field and planting corals and aiming to save the coral reef, we are very fortunate and we feel like we are contributing a little bit more. But personally, I still pretty hopeful for the future. And I know there is a lot of environmentalists that are not. But me, I try, when I was at school and the teacher, like they were telling us all those bad things, like bad news about everything, the environment, what you should do, not should do, and blah blah blah. I was like overwhelmed, and I don't think like doing good for the planet needs to be overwhelming. I think it needs to be cool. And that's what Coral Gardeners is about. We never say to people, the reef is dying because of you, it's not good, blah, blah, blah. That's just not our message. We just want to show the beauty and the importance of our coral reef and ocean and make people feel connected to it, and maybe they're going to join. And when I see all the people like you, Maddy, at the early age, they know a lot about the ocean, the coral reef, and all those kids, they want to contribute and do a job that is meaningful. I'm quite hopeful for the future.
Is there anything that you would like to share that we haven't talked about?
I mean, I would love to ask you a question. When last time you came to Moorea, how did you find coral gardeners and what did you learn? Did you enjoy it?
We actually found out about coral gardeners on the plane, on a magazine. And we saw a picture with somebody in like a hole with coral around them. We're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And then we looked at the magazine and we saw that you can adopt a coral, you can go to Moorea. So we're like, we have to do this because I really love the ocean. So I really like snorkeling. And I was like, this would be a cool thing to do. So last minute, we called you guys and we had an appointment to go see you. And it was really a cool experience to see how, there are multiple ways to restore coral because I didn't really know anything about it.
Sure.
And it was really fun going in, planting the coral and learning about how you guys work and how incredible your team is.
No, yeah, it's cool, and I think if there is more people like you becoming like passionate about the ocean and the coral reef, that's the way to go. We need more people sharing the message and talking to your friends, your family about those topics, and
Mhm.
that's my goal with the project is to be able to inspire more people. Yeah. And when are you coming back?
Hopefully very soon. We're not quite sure yet because of all the traveling and the pandemic, but I would really like to get back into the ocean with you guys and become a mini coral gardener and plant some more coral.
Yeah, for sure, Maddy. Always a pleasure talking with you. Thank you for your support and for spreading the word. And we need more people like this to build the movement and save the reef altogether. Yeah.
Titouan, thank you so much for your time. I had a really fun time talking to you and seeing you again. Can't wait to see you, Moorea.
Okay, guys, take care. Thank you for the support. Ciao, guys.
Bye.